And welcome back, YouTube. This is Booster Box Buster here with another video. Today I got something really exciting. We are returning to the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's right. I got Yu-Gi-Oh! Series 14 Miniatures Showcase, made by Mattel between the years 2002 and 2006. This is the 14th set in the line, and it contains 9 different miniatures to collect. Some of these are variants of previously released figures, however, they are unique. They are not 100% shot-for-shot remake or rehashed. They are variants, so they're not the exact same miniature. And as far as I am aware, Series 9 does not contain any 3-packs. It is one of only, I believe, 2 series to not have a single 3-pack associated with it. Series 13 had it. I believe 11 or 12 did not. Series 10 was all 3-packs, and everything before 10 had at least one 3-pack associated with it. And this is also the very last set to include any new miniatures. They released set 15 after this, which was all reprinted miniatures, and then that was the end of the Mattel Yu-Gi-Oh! Minifigure line. So this is a very sentimental set because to me, I mean technically set 15 does exist, but to me this was the last set in the lineup. I am skipping 13 because Series 13 is incredibly expensive and very, very hard to collect. I do have 2 miniatures from that set. You may see me do a video. If I can get half the miniatures from Series 13, I'll probably do a video on it. But until then, Series 13 will remain elusive on this channel. Alright, with all that huge introduction out of the way, let's hop in to the Series 14 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Miniatures, made by Mattel, Showcase. First up, we're going to start with the variants that this set has to offer. And we are going to start with Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. This is a variant. It is a translucent variant of the Blue Eyes Toon Dragon that was released in Series 5. And believe it or not, this is one of the more desired miniatures from the set. This one is actually quite expensive and hard to find when it does come up for sale. I do really love how the claws, the teeth, and the eyes are really the only non-translucent part, I guess in the tongue as well, of this particular miniature. The rest is just the pure white/blue appearance of the dragon itself. The very playful expression, and of course I love how one foot is kind of stuck up in the air, the other one is firmly planted on the ground, like it's almost like doing a little happy dance, in the middle of a happy dance. Pretty cool. Good way to start out Series 14. Up next, we have another translucent Toon variant, and that is Toon Summoned Skull. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this translucent variant over the original variant. This is super, super cool. Of course, you have the book that it's setting on the base, with the little Toon World popping out of it. Of course, the Summoned Skull popping out, all menacing-like a little pop-up book. The eyes are quite sinister, and the smile, it's like a halfway between a goofy and a serious smile. I really like it. Between the two variants, I think the Toon Summoned Skull is better, but the Blue Eyes Toon Dragon is actually more desired amongst collectors. That is Toon Summoned Skull translucent variant. Alright. Now we're going to get into... actually, nope, sorry, there is one more variant. And then we have a translucent variant of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Very similar to the Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, where you got the mouth, the teeth that are full color. Typically the claws are full color, however on Blue Eyes Toon it was, but here they are also translucent. I think it would have looked better if they had kept the claws colored. I think it just would have looked better. It would have been a bit more of a striking pose. Maybe like the tips of the wings could have had color too. Not my favorite miniature. I do think that this one is a bit of a letdown in terms of the full translucency. I think they could have done a better job overall. Not bad, but not my favorite miniature from the set. So that is the third in the translucent lineup. And that does it for variants. All the other miniatures from this set are indeed new, and they were not before seen. And first we're going to start off with one of Yugi's popular, well, back then it was popular, not so much now, monsters, and that is Alpha, the Magnet Warrior. They kind of have a bit of that translucency going on here as well. With Alpha, I personally think it would have been better if they just made him, if they didn't do the translucent and just did kind of like a white. Because this clear translucency kind of does really fade badly over time. The blue, not so much, but this one will fade into that yellowish color over time. I love the magnet on the shield, though. That's a really nice touch. Sorry, my camera's kind of getting blurry. I'm going to try to focus it a bit. Sorry about that. That's still blurry. Let's do it one more time. There we go, that's better. Alright. So yeah, I love the magnet. The little red and blue going up, you got the knees, that's a really nice touch. The sword, I really wish I wasn't translucent. I think that would have looked so much better if it was not translucent. It almost looks like he's wearing some sort of jetpack or like a roller coaster belt around his upper torso there, so that's kind of a neat little gimmick. And of course the magnet around the head, that's like almost like a headband. Not bad. Not my favorite, but not bad. They did also, it's kind of weird, for the Magnet Warriors, they released them in all three different sets. I don't know why. And they never released a Valkyrion, with the exception of, I believe they released a Valkyrion model kit, but they never released one in the miniature line, which is kind of a disappointment. And up next, we have one of Marik's monsters, and this is what used in the fight against Joey, and one of the most broken monsters in the actual card game. For the longest time it was on the ban list until they eroded its effect. And that's Makura, or as it's pronounced here, Macula, which is how the name was spelled on this particular miniature. That's not a misprint. The Destroyer. And I gotta say, this guy's cool. I actually have the larger figure of him, so to have the miniature just really is nice to complete the collection. You got the little, like, almost like Vega claws coming off of him. You got a really cool face. You got that, like, little purple eye there. Love the golden necklace around his neck. The gray boots. The purple armor is a really, really nice touch. Just a really cool miniature and a really broken monster from the game's history. That's I'm going to pronounce it how it's spelled here. I'm going to say Macula. Macula the Destroyer. And then we go to some classic Kaiba monsters from Battle City when he fought, I believe, this is when he fought Yugioh, or Yugi. We have Z Metal Caterpillar. Now, for some reason, mine came loose, like it's not attached, so it does kind of float around in there. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, if I got a bootleg, or if it just happened to miss a tie at the factory, if they didn't tie it up. But this is Z Metal Catapult. It's another translucent style figure. I gotta say, I really do like the cannons coming out of here. You can kind of see them. The cannons. That's really cool. The little claws that it has. Of course, the tank treads there. And this being the base, you could see that it's ready to be connected by the, I believe it's the, is it the X or the Y that gets connected to him? I think it's the Y cannon, or the Y dragon, right, that gets connected right there. Really cool nonetheless. I gotta say, this is one of my more favorite ones out of this set. Just such a cool miniature. And such an iconic part of Kaiba's Battle City deck, the Z Metal Caterpillar. And then another really cool one, we got the X-Head Cannon! Oh, and my camera needs to focus again. Let me get that focused. Sorry about this. There we go. The X-Head Cannon. I love that little spike ball at the bottom there. It looks so much like a Dr. Robotnik monster with that little spike ball. It's just so cool. Of course, you got the cannons that are firing some sort of missiles at its opponents. The giant blue arms, and I love the fact that they did not make this translucent, because I don't think translucency would have been really good with this particular character. I really like the choice to make it an opaque color. I love the yellow to blue, very, what's yellow blue? I was going to say Mega Man, but no, Mega Man's not really yellow blue. Just such a cool miniature overall. Now, unfortunately, they never made a Y dragon in the miniature line. They did make one years later as part of the HeroClix line, but they never actually made a Y dragon for the miniature set, which is sad because that would have been so cool to have a complete set, and you could be like, yeah, I'm going to summon a XYZ dragon cannon. But they never made the miniature of Y, which if they would have had more time and made more miniatures, like an actual set 15 instead of just reprints, you might have seen Y in that set. However, because set 15 is on reprints, that's probably why we never got a Y dragon in our miniature lineup, which is sad. And then we got two more to go. First up, we have Guilford the Lightning. This is probably one of Joey's ultimate creatures that he summoned in the fight against Marik. Requires 3 tributes to summon. And he blows the competition away. But just look at this guy. The sword. So cool. The helmet. Awesome. Even have the sheath for the sword on his back there, which is a really nice touch. A lot of times they would not do that. The blue and red armor. The red kilt. the boots. Just such an opposing miniature. So cool. This guy looks really, really cool if you were to take him out of here. I don't, because I like to keep him sealed. However, if you were to take this guy out, I imagine this guy would look really, really cool on your shelf. And being such an iconic Joey summon from the anime, it's definitely deserving of its own miniature. That's Guilford, the Lightning. I really wish the card was actually good, but it wasn't great then, and it's definitely not great now in the actual card game. And that leaves us to our final miniature of the video. The last one of Series 14. Unfortunately, the packaging is kind of damaged, but that's okay because it completes the set. And that, my friend, is Kaiba's summon against Joey in Battle City Tournament Aftermath. We have the Blade Knight. And I gotta say, this guy is really, really cool. I really like this particular miniature. You got a really cool looking sword. The miniature itself, I do wish they would have made it, didn't make it that translucency color. I wish it was full on opaque like Blade Knight. However, it does work with Blade Knight a little bit better to be translucent. Really cool. I love the little effect where he's like jumping into action on the base there. I imagine if you were to open it, you would have to be careful because that would probably snap a lot easier. So I would be careful if you're buying this loose, or if you plan to open yours, to be very careful with that base part right there, because that just looks like it's going to snap pretty easily. The shield the Blade Knight's having there, oh my god, look at that, that is so cool. You got the little, his insignia on there with that gold border. I will say that the shield being translucent does look really cool. I do like that shield being translucent. And then, of course, Blade Knight right there, jumping into action. Just such a cool miniature. Really, really good way to end the video here with Blade Knight. Now, after all that, what miniatures do I think... Okay, well, first up, I'm going to list my favorite. And it's really hard for me to say my favorite, but if I did, it would have to be one of these three personally. Either Guilford, X-Head Cannon, or Blade Knight. Now, if I had to choose, I'd probably choose, honestly, X-Head Cannon. I just absolutely love this particular design. It just reminds me so much of a Dr. Robotnik enemy from Sonic that I just absolutely love it. It's simple, yet really cool looking. Now, for those who are interested in rarity and value, so I'm going to say, out of all the set 14, this is probably going to be the most rarest and most expensive valuable over time. And that's Guilford the Lightning. I do think Guilford the Lightning... Oh, let me focus that. There we go. Oh, not quite there yet. Sorry, I just want to make sure that it's in focus for you guys. There we go. I do think Guilford the Lightning is the hardest one to get out of the entire set. He was the second to last one for me to get. And I also think he will retain the most value. A lot of people love Joey's cards. Guilford the Lightning gets very little merchandise nowadays, so it's one that you will not see get a lot of merchandise. And on top of that, it's just such a cool looking miniature that a lot of people would love to have on their shelf. I do think Blade Knight is very close second to being also the most valuable and most expensive. However, I do think Guilford the Lightning will take the cape. But if you see either of these up for sale for a decent price, let me get that in focus again. Come on. There we go. If you see either of these for sale, I would highly recommend picking up either one, especially if you get it at a good price, because I do think both of these will be very hard to find in the future, and the price I think will go up for collectors looking to collect them. Yeah, that is my video on Yu-Gi-Oh! Series 14 Mattel miniature line. Like I said, if I get at least half of Series 13, I will probably make a video on it. But until that point happens, this might be my last Yu-Gi-Oh! Miniature video for the time being. If I do get the playsets, I will probably do a video on those. And if I do get at least half of Series 13, I'll probably do a video on that as well. But for the time being, this will be my last Yu-Gi-Oh! Miniature Series line video. Well, and with all that said, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It means a lot to me. If you want to see a future content like this, hit that subscribe button. Also, subscribing is great for the channel. It helps it grow, and more people can find out about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Miniature line that may not have known about it. Until next time, this is Booster Bass Buster, and I'm signing out. Peace.